Good day, my name is Tega Shiimi, Chief Executive at Sanlam Investments, and today we're going to talk about how to maintain sustainable fiscal growth within the economic trends of 2017-2018. Decisions taken by Finance Minister Schletwein in the 2017-28 budget are crucial for the medium-term and long-term fiscal sustainability, macroeconomic stability, and for guarding Namibia's sovereign investment credit rating. According to the Minister, this framework reflects two interrelated objectives. Firstly, anchoring the budget in a sustainable fiscal framework, and then at the same time providing for fiscal policy support to socio-economic objectives. Budgeted figures suggest a dramatic improvement in fiscal metrics, including a sizable decrease in the budget deficit over the medium-term and expenditure framework. Thus, the obvious question is, how realistic are these objectives? Several commentators have already noted that income growth projections are overly ambitious, and that the dramatic reduction in budget deficit is not achievable, but that's something we'll have to see. So let us look at a regional and historic perspective of the 2017-18 Namibian budget in order to provide some answers around this. But first, some highlights of the budget speech that the minister tabled. First of all, spending cuts less severe than anticipated. No tax rate increases, which is good for the man on the street. The fuel levy is set to rise. Unsustainability in high fiscal wage bill is still a problem, but domestic declines in benefits and public level debts, increases in sin taxes, 15% increase in the wage bill, but mild consolidation in terms of our debt stock. The minister stated that spending cuts are less severe than anticipated and less severe than announced in the October 2016 medium-term budget statement. To gain relevance and perspective as to the Namibian budget speech relates to our largest trading partner, that's South Africa, let's look at some of the highlights of the 2017-2018 South African budget speech tabled by former Minister Gordon. Good news and some warnings as well. There's need for significant tax increases on the South African side, sharp increases in transfers of other members of the SACU, continuous increase in budget deficit, and a rise in government debt limits fiscal space. And there's a lack of measures to stimulate economic growth and job creation. That's from the South African perspective. The budget also highlighted the need for significant tax increases while endeavoring to contain government spending. Policy measures to reduce the budget deficit should be enough to avoid a credit rating downgrade. This is good news for Namibia, since a South African downgrade would have knock-on effects on Namibian cost of borrowing and exchange rate volatility. Other good news in a sharp increase in transfers to other members of SACU, including Namibia. This relieves pressure on other government revenue sources because SACU is about 40% of our income. The SA budget lacks meaningful measures to stimulate economic growth relative to Namibia and job creation. This does not bode well for the future of government revenue collection. However, on the Namibian side, the budget tabled against the background of what the minister called a perfect economic storm, which was a significant slowdown in economic growth, mainly due to external shocks, including a slowdown in global economic growth, with a resulting dramatic decrease in the commodity prices. The severe drought was a huge factor, and that had knock-on effect in terms of inflation numbers in the Namibian space. But if we look at the average 5 years, the performance of the Namibian economy has been very good relative to other neighboring countries. If I had to compare it to Zambia and Angola, for example, the Namibian economy has performed solidly relative to those economies.